the 16th of November, 2022, Skakuza to Berg en Dal. Today we go to our last lodge in the Kruger Park, Berg en Dal. We will stay here for another 2 nights. There are many leopards there, so hopefully we will see at least one there, fingers crossed. We drove to Berg en Dal via the H3. Just before Jock Safari Lodge on the H3L, there was suddenly a traffic jam. What was going on? A male lion with a lioness was lying along the side of the road. We closed in behind and slowly moved further and further forward until we had a perfect view of the lions. According to National Geographic, they mate every 20 minutes, so we waited in the blazing sun, and finally, after 45 minutes, the female got up and the male followed. Unfortunately for us, they lay down behind a small bush, but luckily I was able to take pictures, but it didn't last long to film it. But still beautiful to see. We took a lunch break at Jock Safari Lodge. Further along the unpaved H2-2, 3 elephants came running out of the bushes and came straight towards us. We thought they were coming to attack us, so we reversed the car a bit, but once on the road they stood quietly eating. A little further we saw our first rhinos. Far away under a tree lay 3 rhinos. We knew that we would see many more along our path. From the H2-2 via the S114 and S110 to Berg en Dal, and there we saw rhinos close to the road. We arrived early in the afternoon. Unfortunately, we haven't seen a leopard yet. Hopefully later, then we will have the big 5 together. At 4 o'clock we set off again via unpaved S110. We soon came across a large group of elephants. A little further on, a fellow tourist pointed out to us that we had passed 2 rhinos. He led us to the place where they were lying, which was very thoughtful. We found a mother and her calf relaxing in a mud puddle. A little further on there was a young male elephant grazing along the road. We stopped, but after a while we thought we could drive past it. But he didn't like that and he came running towards us, quickly putting the car in reverse, and after a while he luckily stopped. After he passed the bend in the road we quickly drove past, but we could see in the rear view mirror that he didn't like that, so be careful if there is such a guy along the road. The 17th of November, 2022, Berg Dal. We got up at 4:30 this morning to have the chance to see predators hunting, and we succeeded. We were driving via S110 to the H3 when we saw cars in the distance at the intersection H3 and S114. An impala ran across the road, and then we saw a lot of wild dogs that were hunting. At first, they were looking to the impala, but it was nowhere to be seen. Then they were walking along the road, and then they saw a warthog walking, and they went after it. But the boar was smart and dived into the ditch, and they did not dare to attack it anymore. They crossed the S114, and there was also a warthog that was even lame. We thought that was easy prey, but every time the boar crawled into a hole with its head forward, and then they did not dare to approach it anymore. It was beautiful to see. boar even walked towards the dogs and lay down on the ground in front of them. After a while, one wild dog approached the boar, but it immediately turned its head towards the wild dog so that it did not dare to attack. The rest of the dogs didn't follow. After a while they went after the boar, which ran across the road again and lay down in a hole with its head forward. Then the dogs dropped off and lay down to sleep under a tree. We then drove further via the S114 and S118, where we saw a large herd of water buffalo along the road, and they all crossed the road. A little further on there were 3 hyenas that were sleeping near the road. Suddenly one of them jumped up and we thought maybe a lion was coming, but no, he then slowly walked away. All in all, a beautiful morning. When we passed the place where the dogs were lying again 3 hours later, they were still sleeping under the bushes waiting for the warthogs to come to the waterhole again. Let us know in the comments what you thought of Berg and don't forget to like and subscribe. After a good breakfast, we were back on the road. When we passed the place where the wild dogs had lain around 10 o'clock, it turned out that they were still there. Again on the unpaved S114 that is known for the abundance of wildlife, we saw a lot of animals there, including hyenas again. We were on our way to the Biomiti Dam. It would be beautiful there and there would always be something to see, and that was certainly true. When we arrived there was an African osprey in the water. I thought he was going fishing, but no, he went to wash himself extensively. The pied kingfishers flew back and forth, beautiful to watch. Suddenly a whole group of elephants came to drink and bathe. We were filming when suddenly in the corner of our left eye, we saw the leader coming towards us. We thought she wanted to chase us away, so we quickly drove a bit further, but luckily she only wanted to drink where we were standing. PFFF, that was scary. But what an experience when such a gigantic elephant suddenly appears above you. A man told us that there was also a leopard there, but unfortunately, we did not see it. After standing there for 2 hours in the blazing sun, we drove back to our lodge. Today was another very warm day with 38 degrees.